Alright, so I'm going to make this brief, and please forgive me going off the cuff. But basically, I want to briefly explain my family's motivation for trying to help the Rockefellers in framing me as a drug dealer, as a drug addict, and basically trying to frame me up also for tax evasion, tax fraud. In addition to being compensated for being gang stalking perps, my family, by means of such as all those vanilla Visa gift cards that Nelly Cologne has received, and I suspect they probably get some discounts on those cruises that they take. I used to attend Eastside Tabernacle, which is headed by Jose's cousin, Pastor Abner Rosario. And basically, I was going there from '08 to 2012. And it was funny. It was during the time that I was working for the Rockefellers, and I had filed those federal charges against them. After I left, I stopped going to Eastside Tabernacle after I caught on to some of the nonsense that goes on there, unbiblical nonsense, as well as people trying to instigate some conflicts with me, such as Helen Becker, David Orama, John Villanueva, Felicia, I think her name is last name Santiago, and with my brother Saya Colon and Jose Colon. So I stopped going there. They basically tried to cause an incident with me like they did with Robert Maldonado. That will probably be a video for another day. Afterwards, I've kind of run into people who used to go to Eastside Tabernacle, and they told me their experiences and all the nonsense that goes on there that I didn't know about. That'll probably be a video for another day. But basically, I'd speak to people about like 2013 and who would go there, and I'd explain to them about the nonsense that goes on there. One of them about the unbiblical tongue speaking, and some other things, One occasion, though, I think that the big one was I ran into Alan, who was friends with David Orama, last I checked. I explained to Alan about some of the nonsense that goes on there with the tongues. Apparently, he must have informed Abner Rosario. Abner Rosario informed my father. My father came up to me and didn't want me to talk to people that had any problems, talk to them, talk to Abner or whatever, someone from the church. It's like, no, that's not going to happen. Basically, after that, my family would, do things to passively aggressive harass me. Basically, to incite an incident with me. Now I know that it was also the gang stalking, in addition to that, in addition to exposing their church. The gang stalking to get intel on me, to harass me. Ideally, they caused an incident with me so I get arrested. February 2016, I got into an argument with Nelly, and basically it was a heated argument, but I didn't threaten her or come after her or anything like that. Jose wasn't even in the vicinity. He was in his room. He comes out, doesn't try to break up the argument like he's done in times past. Didn't even make the attempt. Tried to have me arrested, called 911 on me. I called 911 on them. 2 squad cars arrived. I explained to them the situation in brief. We got into a heated argument. Didn't threaten her, didn't come after her. They speak to her. They come back downstairs. They're like, oh, she pretty much said what you said. So there was no reason to call the cops. So why did he call the cops? Try to have me arrested. Why? Have me arrested. Boom. Discredited from speaking out against their church. Boom. Get an order of protection issued against me. Boom. I'm evicted from my apartment. That didn't work. Blew up in his face. So, by God's grace. In addition to that, then, in addition to that, we have, that would be the big motive. In addition to whatever compensation they're receiving from the Rockefellers for gang stalking and trying to frame me up. You look at the NYCHA forms. NYCHA, New York City Housing Authority, always sends forms for proof of income. 2016, Jose didn't give it to me. If you look at one of the videos, I have him admitting, I didn't want to give it to you. I didn't want to give it to me because Later on in 2016, after the incident we tried to have me falsely arrested in February, a month or two later, I did a post on my blog and posted the link on Eastside Tabernacle's Facebook page, just basically exposing Abner, you know? So, there's that, So in addition to me speaking to people, exposing it, now I have it online on their Facebook page about don't go to this church, this is why, boom, 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 boom. So, later on in that year, I was supposed to get these, 2016, I was supposed to get those forms for housing proof of income. Jose Nelly never gave it to me. And I got Jose on tape, you can see in this channel, with his own mouth saying, oh, I didn't want to give it to you. Well, why didn't he want to give it to me? Because he was trying to get me evicted behind my back. 1, retaliation for exposing his church. 2, also, of course, ultimately for gang stalking. Gang stalking, they want to destroy your life. They want to have you ideally institutionalized or incarcerated. But before that, though, they want to destroy everything. They want you to be homeless. They want you to be destitute. They want you to have nothing. So by God's grace, I caught on to that. So I mean that's in a nutshell. There's more I can go into, but I'll put some links in the description below. But basically, that's one additional motive for my family to help the Rockefellers in setting me up. Besides those little vanilla Visa gift cards, $25 vanilla Visa gift cards that Nelly's always getting, and such and stuff like that. It's just because the additional motive for them also is the bonus for them in helping the Rockefellers frame me up is I expose their church. You get me discredited, you get me arrested or whatever, but then you can go back and tell everybody, oh, Reuben was a false prophet or whatever. Look what happened to him, yada, yada, yada. So, whatever Reuben said about this church is whatever. Unvalid, right? No, it's not. Because imagine how bad does that look that a pastor of a church, 501c3 corporation, his own cousin is denouncing him as a false prophet. How does that look? That don't look good. It doesn't look good, So, less people see that in the stage of social media. People see that. And, people always check reviews of places or whatever. So people see this Facebook review for this church. And then when I go on Christmas or whatever, oh, I'm not going to go there. Look at this. This guy says he's a false prophet. And they check out some of the stuff I cited. Like, oh, wow, this guy's right. They don't go. They don't go. Less money, less tithe, less offering, less tax exempt donations. There you go. It's all about money. So, like I said, it's off the cuff, and I'm making this brief, but thank you for the time. But in a nutshell, that's a little bit more of the added incentive for my family to help the Rockefellers in trying to frame me as a drug dealer, tax fraud, tax evasion, and all this crazy nonsense of the gang stalking. In addition to whatever compensation that they're receiving via vanilla Visa gift cards and whatever. All right, thank you for your time.